Hello. Well, yesterday was weird. Like, I started out today good. I walked outside. I was very impressed with the way I walked. 'Cause you can tell I'm a woman's man. No time to talk. Just by the way I walk. With a cane and limping. But, you know, it's a pimp cane. Don't have it with me. Man, you never have the props ready with you. But I bought this funny cane. Uh, it's got like a leopard print on it. You know, instead of your standard old guy or crippled guy cane. I used to call it the pimp cane when I had more of a sense of humor before the benzo thing, where everything gets on my nerves. Anyways, yesterday was weird. The walk was good. And I'm like, how can I, like, this is the third time I've done this. I seem to have improved in 3 walks. That doesn't happen in 3 workouts with weights. It's like, wow, okay, I should keep doing this. But, anyways, I don't want to make this a 30-minute video like the last thing that I made. So here's what I did. Uh, Yesterday I picked up the weights and did 2 sets, and my heart was beating way too fast. And I was like, fuck this, and threw the weights down. And like, no, I'm not doing this. And I took a blood pressure pill and a 5 milligrams of Valium instead. And just waited for my heart to mellow out. I mean, not worth it. And I talked to a few people on the phone and tried to make arrangements to give my surplus frozen food to my brother. But the thing of interest, I'm assuming, to benzo people was I have some real questions. I should, my brain's not good today. I'm anxious, but I'm going into my psychiatric nurse guy that's supposed to be managing my taper. And I have some questions about the GABA reception process. And we know that the benzodiazepine bonds to the receptor, and it sort of takes the place of the whole process involved that releases that nice calming chemical, so that when you stop taking the benzo, the receptor, it sort of like becomes somebody that just sits around on welfare and then is suddenly forced to work and doesn't know how to do it. It's just off the top of my head analogy. Please forgive me for it being a poor one. But what I want to know, like, is there anything out there telling us how long this process takes? And I was like reading. All I can seem to get is other people's, opinions about it. I got on Reddit and was reading a long thing about it. I got on Quora, and I'm not reading anything like from the science community, from the medical community, about like how long it takes. Is it an individual thing? Is there a possibility that the receptors get damaged and you just have to be benzo dependent to some degree for the rest of your life? I have a lot of questions. I'm thinking before I go in there, I should just write them out. And then if he's curious, maybe he already knows. Maybe he doesn't know. Maybe he's educated and it's kind of his job. So maybe he's a better researcher and a more patient researcher than me. I don't know. He looked up things about CRPS for me, which weren't particularly helpful, but educated him. But yeah, that's what I want to know. It's like one of the big questions that I have is like, as far as these malfunctioning or damaged or injured receptors or whatever you want to call them, is like, you feel miserable while you're tapering, right? We can all agree upon that. Okay, so um, during the time that you're still taking benzodiazepines, is it like the guy on welfare, like going out and getting odd jobs? Is he like slowly recovering from his lassitude and laziness? I mean, um, are those receptors healing while you're still taking the benzos? Um, Another thing is like when you go, do you have to go off of them altogether before they earnestly begin healing? Uh, is like a proper taper where you're not too uncomfortable, where you're not pushing yourself too hard like I did. Um, are you healing while you're tapering? That's what I want to know. I want to know is there any science out there telling us um, about the receptor healing process? And it it's like so you read about people that have these that's why I was rushing things, is you read about these people's that these horror stories about people that have ongoing problems. They got that BWS, benzo withdrawal syndrome, or protracted benzo withdrawal symptoms. You hear about this stuff, and it starts scaring me, and that's why I rush things, and that's why, like, oh, that did me a whole hell of a lot of good by pushing too hard, and because it messed with my heart, and me and my heart have been uneasy bedfellows for quite some time now, and I just don't trust. Sorry, buddy, don't trust you. You fucked me over too many times before, and I don't want to go. It drains you when you have a bout of arrhythmia and they go in there and shock you and stuff. It's not like they just slap a band-aid on you or kiss it and make it better. I mean, you're not the same afterwards. That's why I had to start out with the 5-pound dumbbells. My usual starting point with dumbbells is 20 pounds. That's what I start out with when I want to work out. But I had 2 hard episodes, and they were spaced about whatever December to September is apart. It's about 10 months apart, and just depleted me. That and broken toes and some sickness in December, as I've covered. Yeah, that's the question I want to ask the guy. It's like, is this? I just want to know, like, is this going to be an ongoing deal with me where I'm just fucking miserable all the time? It's the same thing you want to know. It's like, we just want to stop being miserable, okay? I don't like waking up afraid. I don't like feeling sick. I don't like everything being a struggle. I don't like the paranoia. I don't like the anxiety. I don't like the increased discomfort in my body and the stomach cramping. Certainly not a blessing. I want to know if, like, when can I expect this to end? Or is it like all an individual thing? Because I know if it's a neurotransmitter process that's been disrupted, I know a nerve thing can take a long time to heal. I mean, yeah, I want some kind of security and that what I'm going through is going to end at some point, and then I'm going to feel normal, and that, I'm not going to want to strangle people when I talk to them because I'm just that irritable. So that's the question that I got for the doctor. I'm going to have to get a piece of paper and write them down. I don't feel ambitious. I feel very nervous. I haven't gone anywhere or been anywhere since I screwed up on the 6th of last month. where I was like, 9 days at 12.5, I'll drop it to 10. What's the big deal? I haven't I haven't gone. I haven't made any appointment. I haven't really gone anywhere except for a few short walks outside. And so I'm paranoid over something I've done 1,000 times. It's like I've gone into this place, this Coleman place, many, many times. The people there like me a lot, and I can tell the difference between somebody pretending to like me and because it's their job, and somebody that actually likes me. I can tell the difference between a phony laugh and somebody that thinks it's funny, you know. Um, but yeah, and I'm still nervous about it just because I haven't done anything or gone anywhere. But I got to make that list uh, for the guy who's prescribing my volume and supposed to be managing my taper, even though I just went ahead and tapered without his permission, or rather input. He wants me to taper. That's why he put me on Valium in the first place from the stronger benzo Xanax. And that's why when I was freaking out last summer and I wanted 4 pills a day instead of 3 pills a day, he's like, no. You know, I thanked him later. I'm like, I don't know what the hell I was thinking. You know, I was just had that bad summer here in this evil place. Speaking of this evil place, the other thing I have to do is I have to outline what I want as far as a new place. I don't really need an assisted living facility because I get some help already living here. This is not an assisted facility, believe me. But I already get some help living here from outside agencies. So, you know, just because I'm on this CareSource insurance, I can get like the aid workers that come in and they'll shop for me, and I don't really need that. So I just have to outline like what I'm looking for in a place, and I want to get that ball rolling, and I want to get out of here before the warm weather comes, where I want to be outside, but I don't want to have to worry about running into people that I do not like and I do not get along with. And I don't want to be in a situation. I really have to think about this. I have plenty of time to do it because I woke up at 2:47 a.m. and the appointment's at 1:40. So what I want is a place that's like has the concrete bunkering so I can get my quiet. First floor building. Gotta allow pets, unfortunately, because my sister palmed that cat off on me and I can't bail on him now. And it's gotta be first floor so he can get outside, because he's outside. He likes to be outside more than inside, you know, and just outline the parameters of what I'm looking for. And as far as location, Masson's a nice little town, but I don't think I want to live here anymore. But you know, I'd be like any place like this. I don't care, you know, because they're talking about like, well, in assisted living facilities they have like this guy gave me the site guy gave me a list of numbers like for CRPS numbers to call, which I never did because of depression and inertia and kind of feeling overwhelmed by the whole situation. Like I said, I can't wrap my mind around when you have trouble doing like the smallest things in the world, like, I don't know, taking a dump, walking, doing anything. It's kind of hard to wrap your mind around, like moving. Part of it's like the withdrawal. Part of it's also I've been living here 10 years. This place has done massive psychological damage and physical damage to me living here amongst the crackheads, amongst the flora and the fauna of crackheads and meth heads and otherwise shady people, which because it's a big house, you can't escape it. But if I remember the last place I lived in was an apartment building, and there wasn't a whole lot of interaction. It was first floor. There wasn't a whole lot of interaction with anybody. You couldn't hear shit. You know, I would like to live there. I couldn't afford to live there now because I had a roommate and was living there, you know, getting help with the bills. But a place like that would be cool. Where I could, you know, I could have that choice of keeping to myself or interacting with people. Like here, I don't have any, I'm kind of forced to either hermit up or interact with these people because I share a hallway. There's a damn thing. I share a hallway. I share a door. I share an audio space with them because I can hear every damn thing going on in the building. You know, there's, yeah, it's not, you know, it's like living in a house with a mean older brother. You can't escape it. But yeah, that's what I should do is write down a list of questions for the guy with the taper, controlling the taper. I basically want to know about the benzoreceptor, the GABA receptor healing process. Is there anything out there? Is there any real research out there? It's like I want to know that. I did my best last night, surfing around, reading, accomplished nothing. List of questions for him and an outline of the kind of place that I want for the guy that's going to help me move. So that's what I'm going to do. I don't feel particularly good. I can hear the dog barking upstairs. It's fucking 3:15 in the morning, and I can hear this dog barking above me. He's probably barking at me talking. You know, this is not any place I want to be. I want to get the fuck out of here as soon as possible. Okay? This is not a place to suffer benzo withdrawal symptoms through. That's why I was like, fuck this. I'm not even attempting this. And then, like, I'm being redundant, of course, but then in December I realized I was taking less benzos anyway, and I was like, I'm going with the flow. And I'll go ahead. And I was taking at least 30 milligrams of Valium a day at the time, before December. And I went ahead and I'm taking 15 now. I mean, we'll see how it goes after my appointment and stuff, but I upped it. I tried to make it go down from 12.5 to 10, and it had disastrous results because I did it too fast. Then I went back up to 12.5, and now I'm still feeling increased anxiety, and so going up to 15, which is still at least 50% cut from the middle of December. So, you know, I have to look at it that way. Instead, I look at stuff like that like a failure, like, you know, stepping back and losing that ground gained. But, anyways, yeah, I'll keep this short. But yeah, I want to find that out. And I'm sure you want to know that too. You know, it's like how long am I healing while I'm going through this withdrawal process? Or is there any science out there? Is there any research out there? You know, I saw something really fucking alarming last night. Like Joe Rogan has had. I'll put a link to it because I like to put links down. You know, share things. But they're high at the time because they get high on their podcast or whatever. But it really like pissed me the fuck off. Is like they found out that Jordan Peterson was sick and then like put himself in rehab, and they were like cavalier about it, and then they're like, you know, Joe Rogan's a drug guy, you know, he should know about this shit. But then they're like reading about clonazepam, and then they're like, they don't know what it is. They're making jokes about it. He actually brings up the fact, like, he's like, well, I've never really been, struggled with addiction to anything except for like coffee. It's like, why in the fuck would you bring up something like that? You have no idea what the hell you're talking about. But the whole light atmosphere of somebody going through clonazepam, I don't know if I'm saying that right. I call it Klonopin. It's the same shit, but I'll call it Klonopin since I can pronounce that. But there's somebody to laugh at that and make light of that, and I don't give a fuck if you are high. That it's like you wouldn't make fun of somebody who had you didn't make fun of Stephen King when he got hit by a fucking van and had his leg shattered to the point where it had pins to hold the bones together. You didn't oh, and you didn't bring up, I stubbed my toe last week, so it really infuriated me, you know. Anyways, I just threw that in there. I'm not going to make this any longer. I just wanted to outline. I'm nervous. Nah, this is going to be a fun day. But I just wanted to outline my plans for today. And how I'm doing is very, very nervous. When I really have no reason to be. And I wanted to say that, the last couple days, updose to 15 milligrams of Valium a day. And it's helped some as far as the nerves. But, like, what would help a whole lot more is to get this moving thing, just be living somewhere else and start fresh. It's going to help a lot. I'm not hearing dogs bark at 3 in the morning. That live right up there. And to live a healthier life. But yeah, anyways, so that's the deal. Questions for the benzo doctor, we'll call him. He's a psychiatric nurse. And an outline for the guy that's going to help me move. And I'll let you know how it goes, and let you know if I have a freak out or anything. I feel quite nervous about the whole thing, because to console myself, I called my bank and I checked my balance. My balance in the bank is $37.65, so $3,765, and I'm paid up for this month and have very little bills this month, so I'm good to go money wise. I'd also like to say that I invested heavily in the Browns cards around the time that the Browns season started, with the idea of like they'll win a few games, everybody's hyped over the Browns, and I'll dump them. So I started out really I saved that much money over the course of October, November, December, January, February. So I saved that over the course of 5 months on $12.48 a month to live on. So that's pretty good accomplishment, I think, because saving money's hard when you don't have a lot of it. As a matter of fact, like, I remember, like, you can go to a financial counselor and they'll actually say this to you, like, you don't have enough money to live on, there's nothing we can do to help you. My mom had that experience. She went to like financial counselor type person. They're like, well, there's nothing you can do with this amount of money. Bye bye. So that's part of the reason why I'm, squirrely. But only a minor part of it is I spent those 5 months saving up that 3765. Very serious about the whole thing, including uh, it, it'll be 2 years, I guess, uh, that I've been trying to withdraw on March 18th, and I'm very serious about getting off of the benzos, and I want to be the person that I was, that I liked better, and that other people understandably liked better. That was more patient and more tolerant and easygoing and at, at peace and felt better. I want to be that person again really badly. Just because I've had like a sort of made a mess of my withdrawal process. It doesn't mean that the sincerity and the effort is not there. And I've been talking about getting out of here for months. And again, just because I haven't managed to do it and it hasn't worked out the way I want it doesn't mean that the sincerity and the effort is not there. I assure you it is. And anyways, I'll let you know how it goes. And I hope you have a good day. And I hope you're not nervous like me. Because right now, man, kind of climbing the walls. But yeah, it doesn't matter. I'm going in there. There's going to be no cancellations. There's going to be nothing. I'm going in there and no excuses. I don't give a damn what happens. So I'll let you know how it goes tomorrow. Goodbye.